North Carolina. It's the RH3 Show.
I wasn't scared to go over there.
Look, I do this for nobody but my co-host. Because God first, didn't my co-host.
I done been doubted, I done been counted out, I done been overlooked.
Because your listeners are international, they're worldwide.
The RH3 Show starts right now.
I gotta praise because he set me free. Right that he paid free me at Calvary. So I'm gonna dance and there's no stopping me. Don't ever change 'cause I got victory.
You all, when I tell you I loves me a good old country foot stomping, good old goodin', good old country southern old school gospel song. I love it. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing on today? What's up, everybody? This is your boy Rufus. I am your boy Red, and welcome to another great day right here on the RH3 Show. Y'all, we in the middle of the week. We made it to the halfway mark of the week. And how are you all doing on today? How are y'all doing? Listen, that is, you know what? That is really crazy because it's not really crazy, but surprisingly that she's in the news. This is that was Dottie Peoples. I don't have a closet religion. I can't hide the God I serve. Y'all, I love this song. But anyway, we got a great show, good show lined up for you on today. We got, of course, as always, well, not really as always, because sometimes we don't even have time to even squeeze it in the show. We do our inside scoop, kitchen table talk. We do it all. That's part of our, regular lineup. But sometimes, the way we produce the show, if I do it, if the producers do it, if our chief executive, the Holy Spirit do it, however. But however it goes on, however it, chooses to go on, that's how we do it. But, that's what we plan to do each and every show, is do our regular, which is Inside Scoop, Kitchen Table Talk, and possibly the Real Talk with Rufus, That's the regular. And maybe an Ask Rufus letter. But, however we produce it, we try to give you a great show each and every time we get on the mic. And so, yeah, whether it be me and a guest host, or whether it be just a guest host, period. However we do it, we just try to give you a great show. And I know, and by the way, wait a minute, I'll let y'all know about all of that during the Kitchen Table Talk. And you all, I have to speak on something that I mentioned on yesterday. And I'll talk about that during the Kitchen Table Talk as well. It's not really an apology. It's just a cleanup. It's a cleanup. It is a cleanup. I got to clean something up. It's not really too much of an apology, but it's a cleanup. And so I didn't listen to the show. Well, I did listen to the show, but the Lord had put something in my spirit after the show yesterday on the way home. And, was I at home? I was at home. And he put something in my spirit. He just said, go back on the air tomorrow and clean it up and add to this. And just let them know where it all came from. And so I'll tell you all about that during the Kitchen Table Talk. And so I just got some little cleanup, just clean up, all right? And so, yeah, we got all of that with the Kitchen Table Talk. And coming up next, we got the Inside Scoop with Rufus News. Nina Taylor is here. I got some news. And so, yeah, we got a jam-packed show for you coming up next. Here's Nina Taylor with This Week in Gospel News. I got my news, and we're going to roll on, all right? Keep it where you got it. And plus, we got a Real Talk with Rufus discussion, and it is going to be about how to rebuild the trust in a relationship, whether it be dating, family, friends, whatever. How to rebuild it, all right? Be back with more. Got to catch up on the news regarding politics, or if you want to know news about the TV, movies, sports, and or the music industry, be it if it's in gospel or any other entertainment genre, well, it is time for the Inside Scoop with Rufus, right here on the RH3 Show.
How you doing, everybody? I'm Nina Taylor with this week's Gospel News. One of the most honored gospel vocalists of the 1990s is Dottie Peoples. She debuted in 1991 with the cassette album Is It Worth It All? And Surely God Is Able. Then broke out with her 1993 LP Live, which caused her to be nominated for a Stellar Award for Best Female Solo Performance Traditional. Her next efforts, On Time God, won her 4 Stellar Awards: Traditional Female Vocalist, Traditional Choir Album of the Year, and Song of the Year for the title track. She also won the prestigious Vision Award that year. Another Female Vocalist of the Year award followed in 1996. She was additionally nominated at the Soul Train Awards and the Dove Awards. Peoples also performed at the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra. She released Testify in 1997. God Can and God Will followed 2 years later, and Show Up and Show Out was issued in the fall of 2000. The Denver Broncos NFL football team have a new ownership core. Earlier last week, Walmart heir Rob Walton brought the team pending approval from the NFL. One of the members of this group is a prominent businesswoman who will become the first Black female NFL minority owner if the deal goes through. We are talking about none other than Melody Hobson. She is an impressive woman with some amazing achievements under her belt. A graduate of Princeton University, she is the president and co-CEO of Ariel Investments and the chairman of Starbucks Corporation. She was also a top-level executive at DreamWorks Animation. She is also a director at JP Morgan Chase, and her spouse is none other than director George Lucas. Yes, the man who created Star Wars. Truly a moment to rejoice, as the issue of lack of minorities at the ownership level and the coaching level have been issues the NFL have been dealing with for a long time. She truly did it the right way, and that is what makes it more historic and impressive. This indeed is a positive change, as the issue of the treatment of minorities by the NFL has haunted the league for decades. A woman at an ownership position is something that is new, but a Black woman is something that is definitely noteworthy. A gospel singer with a muscular voice and versatile singing style informed by genres such as R&B and rock, Lisa Knowles Smith got her start as a child in her family's group, the Brown Singers of Memphis, Tennessee. She took over as lead singer as a preteen and made her first recording as a member in 1996. After releasing Experience the Evolution with the group in 2008, she sang backup for a variety of gospel acts including Vashawn Mitchell and James Fortune and Fire, while continuing to perform with her family. Her solo debut release, Great Big God, arrived in 2019. Born Alicia Nicole Knowles in Memphis, Tennessee, Knowles joined her grandfather's gospel vocal quartet, the Brown Singers in Memphis, Tennessee, as a backing vocalist when she was only 9 years old. She was leading the group by the age of 12. The Knowles-led version of the quartet performed with the same flair and soulful sound as the original late 70s edition, but added more of the contemporary flavor to the mix. That helped Knowles with her songwriting. Sharing the bill with 3 other Memphis singing groups, her first recording as lead singer was the concert album Live in Memphis, released by E&J Records in 1996. As a quintet with 3 generations of family represented, the Brown Singers issued You Can Make It in the year 2000. Here is this week's Top 10 Gospel Songs. Pastor Mike Jr. has number 10 with Amazing. Number 9, Erica Campbell, Positive. 8, Tamala Mann, He Did It For Me. 7, Fred Hammond, Hallelujah. 6, Charles Jenkins and Fellowship Chicago featuring Stephanie Mills with Never Knew Love. 5. Joshua Rogers, Still Going Trust, down from number 1. 4. James Fortune, Never Let Me Down. 3. Jacqueline Carr, My Portion. 2. Ricky Dillard, All of My Help. And our new number 1 song comes from Dawkins and Dawkins, Come By Here. Well, that's your top 10 gospel songs for this week and your gospel news. I'm Nina Taylor, reminding you to connect with me on all social media outlets. You can find all my outlets on my website. Go to msninataylor.com. That's msninataylor.com. Now, let's get back to more great gospel music on this great station.
Thank you, Nina Taylor, for your portion of This Week in Gospel News. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to take a sip of some tea really quick. But I'm here for my portion of the news, my portion of the Inside Scoop with Rufus News. And I have a great lineup as well. Chris Brown and Michael Jackson are in the news for the past week or two. A lot of people have been comparing Chris Brown to Michael Jackson. And y'all wondering like what this have to do with news. A lot of people were saying, it's just been fun and just a question asked. I don't know if it was on I think there was on both of them, Facebook and Instagram. A lot of people were saying who in the music industry, today could be, compared to, today, who is today's, Michael Jackson when it comes to music. And a lot of people, it was like a unanimous. A lot of people were saying Chris Brown. And so he shut down the Michael Jackson comparisons and was like, Michael is light years ahead of him. And so basically saying that, there's no comparison. That's cap. He immediately responded when Big Boy brought up the topic during an interview to promote, his album Breezy. But when asked how he deals with the conversations, he responded, I stay, up out of it. I'm going to keep it 100. I kind of backed off of it. He gave props to his idol by inspiring him, and he said he would never be able to compete. My personal take on it is I wouldn't even be breathing or even be able to sing a song if that man didn't exist. He said, I don't know if they look at it as a Jordan and Kobe thing, but I wouldn't even look at it. He's light years ahead. There's no competing with him. And so, big ups to Chris Brown for saying that, because if you would, look at it and say, or even think that, a lot of people would, maybe say that Chris Brown is, or probably, would be airheaded or whatever, or, but Chris Brown is a good dude, and I really like him, and a lot of folks don't like him, but Chris Brown is, I've always said it, and I don't know if y'all radio listeners have said it, but Chris Brown, or radio listeners have heard me say it, but Chris Brown is like a little brother in my head, and so I really like Chris. I really like Chris, and I think he's a really cool cat, and that was big of him to even shut down that, because a lot of people would say, I would think that, and this, that, and the third, and whatever. But nah, Chris shut that down. He shut it down, and gave big props to putting close to King of Pop, And so yeah, shout out to Chris for saying that in regards to the dearly departed Michael Jackson. So yeah. Next up in the news, Colombia elects its first vice president. Colombia elects its first vice president, and she is the first. Well, let me rephrase that. Colombia elects its first black. Well, I did say that right. Colombia elects its first black vice president. Or did I say it right? But anyway, the title of it is Colombia elects its first vice president. And as the country's first ever left wing leader with a running mate, Francia Marquez, who will become the first black vice president. And forgive me if I am mispronouncing some of these words, but according to um, Axios, Francia Marquez will become the South American nation's first black vice president after Gustavo Petro won the country's presidential runoff election on Sunday. Marquez celebrated the historical moment as the poignant statement that spoke to the marginalization of black Colombians. It's time to move from resistance to power. The 40-year-old former maid turned attorneys and activists became Petro's vice president elect after the leftist um, uh, leader beat a millionaire real estate mogul in elections usually won by Colombia's moderate and conservative politicians. France 24 reported that Marquez win significant a shift in political and social shift in a nation plagued by fundamentally racist country. Hold on, y'all. Love B. Scott need to get their ads together. Ads, AD, ads. They got a bunch of ads on their page. I said ads, ads. They're ads. They need to get their ads because they have a bunch of ads that's loading on their page, and it's just distracting. It's distracting. I had to spell that out, y'all, so y'all won't think I was saying something else. ADS. I look, y'all. I can read excellent. I'm an excellent reader, but the page was just loading and loading and just moving while I was reading, and that's why before the show, y'all, even whenever we doing our um when we doing our run through on my show sequence page, I copy. Sometimes I copy from different sources. I copy and put it on the show sequence page, and that's where I have the my notes of. Let me see. Let y'all know what, like the opening prayer, the opening of the show music, welcome, introduction, today's brief, notes and bits of inside scoop with Rufus news, bullet points of those, and any kind of notes that I need to know of that, and the kitchen table talk, little bullet points of what I need to mention on that or whatever, and the real talk with Rufus, bullet points I need to know of that. Sometimes I copy the news from the website and put it on that, and read from my show sequence page. But for some of these, I just reading from the website or what have you. But as I'm reading from this website, the ads just loading and loading and I'm like, okay, Lovey Scott, get it together. Just get it together. But yeah, congratulations to Colombia for electing their first black vice president, excuse me, their first vice president. And so, yeah, their first black vice president. All right, you all. Next up on the news, Isaiah Smith. Y'all don't know who he is, but 19-year-old Isaiah Smith of Little Rock, Arkansas. He was previously wanted for shooting a pregnant woman with twins, but he has been found dead, and so according to the spiritual worlds on Instagram, Little Rock police have announced that 19-year-old Isaiah Smith of Sherwood was the victim of a homicide that took place at South Jefferson Street on Sunday morning. Police were sent to the scene, which is where they found Smith suffering from a gunshot wound, with authorities declaring him dead at the scene. Smith was previously wanted in a connection to a shooting that happened on Labette Manor Drive in early June. The shooting involved a pregnant victim and left her two unborn children dead as a result of her injuries. According to the Little Rock Police Department, officers were searching for Smith in connection to the shooting that happened on Labette Manor Drive. Smith was wanted for 2 counts of first-degree murder and battery in connection to the alleged shooting of the pregnant victim. And so this is all coming from the spiritual word, excuse me, not world, word. And the source was from the THV 11 news from Instagram. And so, yeah, prayers go out to both families. Prayers go out to both families. Sherry Shepherd, y'all, daytime talker. Sherry Shepherd gets premiere date, and her talk show has been sold in 97% of the U.S. And so Sherry Shepherd's new daytime talk show, Sherry, will premiere this fall on Monday, September the 12th. The nationally syndicated talk show has been cleared in more than 97% of the U.S. And with the recent barrage of cancellations in the talk space, the Wendy Williams Show, The Real, the Nick Cannon Show, fans of daytime talk can breathe easy, and looks like this format is here to stay. And so, yeah, congratulations to Sherry. You know, y'all know my opinion on that, but it is what it is. I'm here for, our people. So congratulations to Sherry. Congratulations to Sherry. Jalen Ferguson, Baltimore Ravens linebacker. He passes away at age 26. So Jalen Ferguson, the 26-year-old Baltimore Ravens linebacker, outside linebacker known as Sack Daddy, passes away suddenly on Tuesday. And so my condolences go out to his family. Prayers go out to his family, who all knew and love him, for his fans. And so, yeah, a whole lot of young football players are passing away recently. So, yeah, praise go out to Jalen's family and everybody else. So, Martin Lawrence, Ludacris, and a lot more people are going. A lot more celebrities, black celebrities at that, is going to be, getting it big time next year. And so Black history has been made yet again. A lot more black icons. Let me say that. Martin, Ludacris, Sheila E., Charlie Wilson, Lenny Kravitz, Garrett Morris, the posthumous star for the iconic Juanita Moore, and a lot more, announced on last Friday that they are going to be immortalized with their very own Hollywood Walk of Fame star. And so, yes, congratulations to them. Congratulations to these black thespian stars in various entertainment categories from television to music and recording. And so I'm big ups again to Martin, Ludacris, Sheila E., Charlie Wilson, Lenny Kravitz, Garrett Morris, and other stars. Those are, the ones that I've named, but also Paul Walker, Uma Thurman, John Favreau, Jonas Brothers, and a whole lot more. But I just wanted to shout out them for, being named to get in their Hollywood Walk of Fame, and also your boy Rufus. No, I'm just kidding. But sooner or later, once I get, a few more years, I'll be getting that star soon. Anyway, let's move on. I got one more news report, and that is involving Kurt Franklin. Kirk Franklin, the gospel great Kirk Franklin, braved the possible public scrutiny recently, as you know, off and on, with his estranged son, Carry On. But he spent, a lot of time. Carry On spent a lot of time. Since April, I think. Yeah, because we talked about it. April the 10th, actually, when he was arrested. But his father went on the Breakfast Club and talked and spoke about his son, and said, of course, he still loves and cherishes his son Carry On, despite their recent, public fallout, over the years. And Kirk Franklin was, hesitant to dwell deeply into, his son his son mental health, and which admitted while also telling his family he was about everything, his personal Carry On's personal situations. And so Kurt said that he quoted, and I quote, excuse me, that we historically try and have tried to keep our journey with our son and his mental state a private family matter. He said, I love my son, and we've been, here for, we've been here for many, many years, and I've done everything that I could to try to help him for many, many, many years. And my son is very talented. He's a beautiful soul, and the way that he was wired is not necessarily his fault. Some of us are born with very unique wiring, and a lot of times in our community, it is hard for us to acknowledge certain wiring, and we want to think that it's something else. And so he also Kirk Franklin also addressed his son's recent incarceration. My son was recently incarcerated. This is my boy. I know my son. Right now, I'm proud of him because I think he is. We privately trying to address some of those things, and I have to realize, Envy, he was talking to DJ Envy, that he may never be able to understand the gravity of what he did. And so, of course, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and he thanked, Carry On thanked his father. And so I pray and hope that Carry On and Kirk, are on the same page in regards to mending and coming together on certain things that that's hindering their relationship, because I think that Kurt and Carrie I need to do that in regards to being okay with coming back together as father and son, and building that relationship. You know what I mean? So, hey, that's that. That's that of the Inside Scoop with Rufus News. I'll be back with more of the RH3 show. Coming up next is a quick kitchen table talk, and we'll continue on with today's show. Be back in a moment.
I will take care, and he's always there. I know that.
Hey,
Hey, this is Quayla.
This is Isaiah Templeton. This is Dave Little.
I'm Nina Taylor from the Gospel News.
Well, this is Rock River alongside Red.
You are listening to my boy Red with the RH3 Show.
And you're listening to the RH3 Show. And you're listening to the RH3 Show.
And you're listening to the RH3 Show.
Boss of boss. Oh, yes. Keep it locked.
If you're not tuning into the RH3 Show weekly, here's what you've missed. To make that decision, okay, honey, I see we're struggling. I see you doing the best you can for me, or I see you doing the best you can for me and our children. I'm gonna have to do something. So, whatever that is, pray on what you think is best. Red cannot give you that answer, because if I say, hey, your wife deserves to be out, your wife deserves to be at home, and y'all struggling and getting put out of your house. Well, Red told us for you to tell me that you shouldn't have to work and you should be home and do this, that, and the third. No. No. Use your best judgment. Everybody's household is for the decision that we all make for our household is our own decision and whatever. So don't go use it as, like I said about these conferences, seminars, or whatever, and the RH3 Show. Use it as a tool to help you elevate. Come on, you all, join me live from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or you can join me on the podcast anytime. For more about me, the broadcast, or the podcast platform, you can visit my website at therh3show.com. Alright, pull up a chair. Let's have a conversation. It's time for our kitchen table talk. Alright, you all, we are in for our kitchen table talk, and this is, where we just chill and sit back and relax and relieve our mind and just discuss and talk. Y'all, I just have a few brief kitchen table talk discussion. Yesterday, really not much went on yesterday. But just work, y'all. Yesterday, work. I told y'all what I did on early on yesterday after work yesterday. Well, y'all know just Tuesdays are usually double show days, and so instead of an extra show on yesterday, we just planned for the next 3 weeks, and so planned for the next 3 weeks, and I just looked over the website as it is still being built, and I'm loving it so far, and the visual introduction that is used for our YouTube channel, that is used for show promotion, that is used for our after show, or that is, of course, that's on our YouTube page and on social media. That is complete. I like it, and all of that is done. And so, what needs to be complete concerning the RH3 Show is just promotions throughout the summer, and that's it. And so, yeah, the first promotion is done. That's going to be released on Friday instead of tomorrow, because tomorrow's a little bit too early, but that's going to be released on Friday after the show. And so, yeah, Friday after the show, that's going to be released, and yeah, and that's done. The website should be done, I think, next week, but it's going to be released on our anniversary celebration week. And yeah, and we already got our 3 weeks for the next 3 weeks planned, but that's just going to be put together soon and sent to um, uh, whatever, wherever. And yeah, everything's just been, perfectly planned, and so we're just gonna have a great summer, and then just continue to roll on. And so it's gonna be a great summer for us, and prayerfully and hopefully it's gonna be a great summer for you all. And yeah, y'all continue to vote for us for the Spin Awards. We're gonna add a link for you all on our website. It should be on there now. Matter of fact, it should be on there now. And so yeah, a link is on there. I think it is on there now. I think it is. I haven't checked. But a link should be on there now to vote for us for the Spin Awards. So please vote for us in the three categories. Y'all, I realized over the weekend that we are, instead of getting our four nominations, we did get nominated for three categories instead of two, instead of our regular four. We got three. We got Best Late and Evening Show. We got Best Podcast and Best Podcaster. And so, congratulations to the RH3 show. Congratulations to Nina Taylor. And also, congratulations to Gospel 107. So, yeah. Vote for all of us. Y'all, vote for all of us. Vote for all of us. Go to thearch3show.com. And I don't know if it's on the other websites, Nina Taylor's or our international flagship station website. But yeah, go to and just vote. Alright? Please do that. Please do that. Alright? And yeah, do that. Alright? And also, if you want to help us out in contributing, so we can, you know, do that. If you want to help us out any other way financially, go to our website and click on sponsorship, and click on the sponsorship button. Whether you can help us through Cash App, you can help us through PayPal, or you can help us through what's that other one? Not Venmo. Y'all know which one I'm talking about. Um, Not Venmo, but Zelle. Zelle. Help us out through Zelle. Alright? And I think I think we're gonna add Venmo in there in the next few minutes for the end of the show. And so you may check it now. It may be on there. I don't know. I haven't been on there, to see, but please help us out in any way that you can. All right, we really would truly appreciate you helping us out to, so we can, of course, like you hear the the drop every once in a while to help us out financially. You can. God will bless you tremendously, and we would thank you because the RH3 show, it lives off of sponsorships and blessings, and so we would love for you all to do that and thank God for your many blessings. And we pray each and every seed sown into the RH3 show, the Lord God return it back to you 100-fold. All right, and so we thank God for you all, and we pray that God you know blesses you 100-fold. So if we've been a blessing to you all, if this show has been a blessing to you, to your platform, however, we thank you all for pouring back into the show. Thank you so very much, and we really appreciate it. I mentioned at the beginning of the show about yesterday's show and what the Lord had asked me to come back and to mention. Everything that I said on yesterday, I meant every word, and everything that I said on yesterday's show was correct. But there is ministries, and this is what the Lord told me to come back on here to, not really so much as correct, but to add in, whatever. we do understand that ministries do set rules and guidelines for their ministries, members, and whatever. And if you are members of that congregation, you do have to abide by those guidelines and rules. They may be out of order, compared to what the Lord has set. They may be out of order for that, and they may not. But that's up again between you, your pastor, and the Lord. You, the pastor, and the Lord. But the fact still remains the same, that holiness is not a look. Holiness is a lifestyle. And so if you are working in that ministry, you have to set a standard when it comes to, being in that position. You have to, and we all get that. We all get that. Because understanding that when you're working with children, of course, you have to be dressed a certain way. We get that. When you're working with teenagers, of course, you have to be dressed a certain way. We get that. We get that. And, again, the principle of the whole matter is that holiness is not a look. It is a lifestyle. But when you are a member of a congregation, you have to be, you have to set that, lifestyle. When you have to be a part of, where that guy, where what was set. And if you don't like it, you have to, not be a part of that ministry of help position. Point blank, period. It may be strict, it may not, but just go where you're comfortable. It's just simple as that. You have to go where you're comfortable, and thank you, Lord. You have to go where you're comfortable and where you feel that you are free to worship the Lord, and where you will not be looked upon, when you are comfortable enough and free to worship the Lord. And there is a song, I think it's Free to Worship. When you're free to worship God, and you're not when you're not looked upon or scandalized or whatever, or it's a word I'm trying to think of. You're not you're not looked upon or under scrutiny. Thank you, Lord. Under scrutiny when you worship and praising God just because of what you got on. You have to go there. You have to go there. You have to do that. And if that's what it takes for you and your family to do, go to worship and be wherever you have to be to worship, then do that. Then do that. Alright? Be back with more of the RH3 Show. Want a free subscription to be a part of our live listening audience? Download one of the major podcast platforms: Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, and more. And search The RH3 Show and subscribe. You'll get all new content as well as access to previously aired broadcasts to listen to, download, and to share to your contacts. We'd love for you to be a part of our family. Subscribe today.
The RH3 Show. For more about the broadcast and info on how to listen or watch from where you are, please visit therh3show.com.
Right that he paid free me at Calvary. So I'm gonna dance and there's no
This is real life. We show real love and we also have real conversations, all from a Christian male perspective. It's the Real Talk with Rufus right here on the RH3 Show. All right, you all, we got, I was about to say 3 minutes. We got 10 minutes left of the show. And, of course, we're going to close out today's broadcast on this segment. And we had our Real Talk with Rufus discussion where we're going to talk about how to rebuild trust in a relationship. And, of course, like I said, we've been talking about anything dealing with trust, dealing with like I said, trust, a whole lot of things when talking about rebuilding a lot of things, whether it be forgiveness. And we talked about forgiveness yesterday and on Monday. And so, like I said, today we are talking about how to rebuild the trust and, basically forgiveness or whatever in a relationship. And so, like I said, do you need to rebuild your trust in a relationship? And do you need to rebuild anything that that has broken up, whether it be your between you and your spouse, you and your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever? Do you need to rebuild whatever you have with it, whether it's a friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, your brother, sister, mother, husband, wife, whoever? Do you need to rebuild anything? Rebuild a trust in it. Do you need to rebuild it? If so, here are 3 things that I am going to plant in you or let you know how to do it. But the first you need to know is the word rebuild implies that whatever it is, whatever you have, whatever relationship it is, has been torn and needs to be reestablished once again. That's that re-word. Something that you said or didn't say, did or you didn't do, your spouse, child, relative, friend who has adversely impacted your relationship with them. And secondly, trust is not something that anyone owes you. Trust must be earned. Trust is valuable. It's valuable. And so it means that you need to provide something to the other person in order for them to trust you once again. And it's not something that you can just do one time. And it's something that you can just keep giving out to people. And third, in order to trust you, the other person must have complete confidence that, from this day forward, you are who you say you are. And that's number 1. You need to, in order to rebuild it, they need to, it is what it is, or you are who you say you are. Your spouse needs to know that you are very genuine, authentic. Your friend needs to say you are very genuine, authentic, that you're not going to do it again. That you are the real deal Holyfield. When you are with your family, friends, coworkers, your spouse need to see that you are the same person, whether you are whoever you are with. You're the same person that you are with them, the same person you are with, these people. You are who you say you are. When you and your spouse, got married, you promised to be there for each other, for better or worse, rich or poor, whoever. To death do you part. You are committed to become one flesh. That means the other person should be able to rely upon you, upon those promises, that you will not tear the marriage apart and that you will be there as, the husband or your wife. And no matter what happens, you are who you say you are. And also, Number two, you will always speak the truth. There are no such thing as little white lies or half truths. What you say is either true or is it not. If your wife or whoever or your friend or whoever asks you something and it's simple like, what have you been doing? Don't just say mowing the line. If you have also been watching TV, checking emails, remember, truth is the whole truth. Tell them every single detail, every single thing. Let them know because they're going to think you been lying. Let them know everything. Everything to rebuild trust. Speak the truth in every single thing, big and small. And then you're going to have to get to the point to where you can just say mowing the line, or you just went to the store, or you just went to the post office, or you just went riding, whatever. So they can say, oh, okay, that's what they've been doing. Speaking the truth also means not just keeping secrets from who the person whoever. Whether it's a purchase you made, an addiction you have, an illness you're experiencing, or whether you've been, wherever you've been, nothing should be kept from your friend, your spouse, your child, whoever, your sibling, your mother, father. A surprise party may be an exception. That's the only way you can lie. Only. Whatever. But sharing challenges and problems, your emotions with, your spouse, your friend, whoever you are, whatever, may be difficult initially, but will help rebuild trust and ultimately intimacy or, friendship or bond or whatever in this relationship. It will. And lastly, you will always do what you say you will do. And if just a tad bit breaking that, they're going to say, just forget it. I knew you was going to do me wrong. For real, for real. And as we hear the closing of, the show coming on, hey, like I said, you will always do what you say you will do. In simple terms, when you say you will do something and the other person can check it off the list or take it to the bank, it's a done deal. For some reason you are unable to do it, let the other person know immediately. And of course, have receipts. Have receipts. Any seeds of the seeds of suspicion and the distrust seem to be, will seem to germinate when the person is working to rebuild the trust, does unpredictable things. For an example, if you are going to be unusually late coming home from work, tell your spouse, or if you're going to be, hanging out or whatever with your friends, let them know why, and have receipts. You are all as you rebuild, this trust in the typical relationship or your, whatever. Remember that one of the best things you can do is ask the other person, what can I do to earn your trust once again, or how can I, how can we, whatever. And if it's something that you've broken that cannot be mended again, don't ask that question, because that's going to make it even tougher or harder for that other person to even be around you. For real, for real. That's no lie. I've been in that place and is in that place, but don't ask them that. Don't ask them that. Just let that other person deal with it in their own way. Let them, and then be sure to listen carefully and take action, and then just let that other person deal with it in their own way and let it just come naturally. I love you all for real, and I'll see you all on tomorrow or whenever you should happen to listen to me. For more about me or the broadcast, you can visit our website at therh3show.com. Know that I love you for real, and always remember to live every day, laugh every moment, and to love God, love yourself, and love other people beyond words. I'll talk to y'all soon, and I'll see you all next time right here on The RH3 Show. Peace.
Right there, he paid free me at Calvary. So I'm gonna dance and there's no stopping me. Don't ever change, cause I got victory. So go ahead and praise him, cause he's been so good. Give him all the glory like you know you Raise up and raise up, they can't stop you if they could. So don't take it crazy, raise them like this. And we're gonna raise them now, raise them 'cause he called me to switch. Go ahead, 'cause I know I gotta give it up. If anybody wanna come and raise them, I gotta praise him now, praise him 'cause he called me to switch. Go ahead, 'cause I know I gotta give it up. If anybody wanna come and praise him, praise him 'cause he called me to switch. Praise him 'cause he called me to switch. Praise him.
Peace party people. See you later.
'Cause I'm saying bye-bye.
Good night. Good night.